And nobody can deny that this government is unpopular. And there'll be various reasons. Journalists say, well, it's because he's been in power for 9 years, everybody's tired of him. Others would argue that it's because of his policies, which were not passed by the party. There's been no policy forum saying we're going to have the Online Harms Act. No policy forum said you're going to have 11-year-olds saying I want to change my sex, and you can't tell their parents. And yet we've had a minister stand up and say that has to happen or else we're going to have kids dying in this country. A lot of this stuff, people, normal people, regular people look at it and they say, well, that's just not real. It's not, it's not hinged. And if the party had been in place, a lot of that would not have happened. And the three of you know, there's a party policy, the structure before, that there were ways for the party to push back. And Jack, you and I have been in a room when the Prime Minister has come in, when people have said from all across the country, we disagree with that, or we didn't like that. And if you're going to stay in power, you have to pay attention to that. So that's my contention, that there's no question the party is in bad shape. There's no question that this leader has taken a number of steps to make sure that he is the potentate and he doesn't have to fool around with the party or deal with the party, and much to his shame right now, because he wouldn't be as bad as he's perceived by the country.
I'm not in politics at all, but I am interested to learn. I came to Canada in 1988 from Iran, and the reason we came to Canada was because of the freedom, because of the opportunities we could have in this country that they offered to us, and I'm very grateful to be in Canada. I don't even know if this question that I'm going to ask is relevant to you guys, because we're a bunch of intelligent people here with political background, and I'm not. I'm just a regular person. My question is, would freedom of speech ever come back again? Because now in these days, saying any word, I don't know what liberal means anymore. Can we say anything without offending anyone anymore? About cultural or even jokes, like for example, Friends, the show Friends, when we watched it, if they made such thing right now, they'll be in trouble. Or Golden Girls, or any of those shows. I'm into entertainment, as you know. So, is this ever going to come back again for me to say I don't like a certain group of people, or it's my opinion? If it's liberal, or if this Canada is about freedom, is that ever going to come back again? That's my question.
Such a great question. It's such a great question, Stephen, because part of what you brought up in terms of the so-called Online Harms Act really does allow a handful of bureaucrats to decide what she can and cannot say, what's acceptable or not.
And you, as the editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun, know that very well.
I might as well be going to jail at this point.
Well, and certain things that certain guests say on my show would put me in jail. So to answer your question directly, I think you will be able to express yourself, but it's going to take a little bit more work, because the world and Canada is becoming very autocratic and even more so politically correct. And to have a discussion of views, of issues, and to allow someone else to say something, as was said tonight here in this room many times, is very difficult right now. I know people who wanted to come here tonight, and they told me it was being taped, and they didn't want the Prime Minister's office to hear or see what they may have said that somebody up there could disagree with. Now that is shameful. And that is not Canada, and that will change.